Good evening, Pahrump and Nye County. This is Nye County with Tom Gibson, except there's no Tom Gibson. He's missing in action. If anyone knows his whereabouts, please have him report to the principal. If he's been kidnapped, we will not pay the ransom. So let's get it started. Hopefully he'll show up. The first thing I'd like to address tonight is some medical frustrations some friends of mine and myself experienced lately. I have a good friend, he's 80 years old or 79, something like that. And he was unloading some boxes and slipped and fell and broke his femur, his leg bone. And he made it to my house, and I took him into the hospital. And I had to get help getting him out of the car and everything. They had a wheelchair. And they did the x-rays and all that and determined he had a broken leg. So unbeknownst to him, they arranged for the hospital in Vegas to receive him, arranged for the ambulance, and off he went. And everything was fine. You know, he got treated. And then about 4 months later, this was at the end of April, he gets a bill. And it's almost $1,700 for the ambulance. And the rationale was Medicare won't pay it because it was deemed as a non-emergency trip. So he's all up in arms, of course, still trying to recover from his broken leg, and here he's got this medical bill, which is astronomical for most of us who are on a fixed income. And he's got to, figure out a way to convince the system that an 80-year-old man with a broken leg needs a ride into Vegas, and it should be covered by insurance. Certainly, most of it, he might have to pay a little copay, but I experienced similar things when I was having a lot of heart attacks and things like that. It became a nightmare. Every time I'd go in the hospital, luckily I recovered, but here would come the bills, and I'd have to try to explain to everybody why I got, why I had to go. And it's just not right. And if anyone has had similar experiences to that, please call in and help me out, fill some time tonight. People got to know what to expect when they do run into these medical issues. I had another one, this was just a month or two ago. I got a bill from Quest, the lab, for blood work. And I have, Medicare and TRICARE for life, they call it, which should pay everything. And anyway, I called Quest, and she said, again, Medicare had denied one of the tests. It was a PSA test, because they deemed it was unnecessary. Well, I got prostate cancer, so in most people's opinion, it's a good idea to check PSA, although, that is not a telltale sign of anything firm, but it's a good indicator there might be something going on. So anyway, I had to go back. It so happened my doctor, Dr. Van Wagner, had left the practice and is somewhere in Las Vegas, so I had to go through Mountain Valley Physicians Group, and after writing several things in that, apparently it's gotten corrected, and they sent a Quest a notice saying, yeah, this guy really needed the test. But that's kind of thing we're encountering more and more with Obamacare and all the changes that are going on to the healthcare system. So again, the lines are open. If you have something to call in regarding this or any other subject I'll cover, please do. Okay, second thing I'd like to address is, which I think is a very cool thing. The first Saturday of every month, the DA has coffee and donuts, and they have a little roundtable discussion or bitch session or whatever you want to call it, with the DA, where people can pose questions, talk about issues that they've dealt with, complaints, on and on. And I think it's a wonderful thing for her to put up with some of the things, even though I feel most of them are justified. But I give her a lot of credit for getting up in front of the wolves and receiving the questions and complaints and all the rest. Sharon Worley was at one of these. I think this will be the 4th one this coming month. And again, it's the first Saturday of every month. It's at the Rudd Center, and they've been starting at 10 o'clock. So if you can make that, please do. Gandhi once said, when people lead, leaders follow. And I think if there's one thing that's led to the degradation of our country, it's because the people have allowed our leaders to totally mismanage our country. And the only way to get it back is for the people to stand up and start leading. And I think very few leaders or people in positions of power can ever stand up against people that have finally said enough and let's get this straightened out. So I highly encourage people to get active, not only with the DA and the Saturday Donuts, but also at the courts. Please go up, see the flag man. He'll walk you through everything. We have 2 justice courts and we have 2 district courts. The district courts are where the felony or misdemeanor, gross misdemeanor, and felony trials are ultimately held. But those aren't a daily occurrence. The justice courts normally have something going on virtually every day, except for the weeks when they're dark, they call it, where they catch up on administration. Okay, so please, 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 let's get involved. Let's start recovering. Again, if you're as fed up as I am with the political ads, the political rhetoric, the baloney, you'll understand that only we can solve the problem. We are the ones we've been waiting for. So please get involved. Okay, the 21st of September, tomorrow, the Attorney General, Adam Laxalt, is coming to Pahrump. He'll be at the County Commissioner's Chambers at 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Again, anyone that understands the legal system that has been totally removed, justice has been removed totally from the system. And if there's any system that needs to be done right, it's the justice system. And here's the top guy in our state, the Attorney General, and he's going to be in Pahrump. And if you've never been to the commissioners, it's on the Calvada I. Normally they allow people that want to say something to get up. It's a scary thing for people that aren't used to speaking in public or anything, but please get over it. If anyone laughs at you, it's their problem, not yours. So get up or at least attend, and again, get involved. So that's tomorrow at 1:30 at the County Commissioners building. Okay, the phone lines again are open. Flagman, where are you? Dr. Christensen, anybody, give us a call. Okay, we got about 4 minutes left. Let me go into something that has happened over the last couple weeks. People might have seen it on TV, but it's a proposed merger that's been agreed upon by Bayer and Monsanto. And again, for people that don't do a lot of research in the history and all the rest, so what? They're not interested in economics and things like that. However, if you are involved in history, you'll know that these are the 2 worst companies probably that's ever been created. Bayer was one of the 3 companies, along with BASF and another one, who formed a conglomerate called IG Farben in Germany. And they were the ones mainly responsible for Hitler, for the Nazis, etc. Okay, I'll take a break from talking right now. Ray, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, Ray the Flagman. And you're doing just fine, Chuck. I'm listening. I'm saying I'm getting important information. You and I have reviewed most of this stuff previously, but you're bringing it to the attention of the people. And as far as this Attorney General tomorrow on Laxalt, it's supposed to be an open session where people can ask questions or get in touch with him. Whether it's going to do any good or not, I don't know, but at least he's going to show up, and we'll have that opportunity. Now, tomorrow I want to let everybody know in the morning at 9 o'clock at the Justice Court, there's a preliminary hearing on a murder case. So anybody who wants to see this, they can come down at the courthouse, and I show them around, as you so nicely put it. You know, if they want to come to the courthouse, I'm there on a daily basis. Usually they have what they call catch-up week every so often where things are dark, meaning there's not much happening. Today on the in custodies, there were 14 people in there. This is upsetting to me because some of them have been sitting since last Thursday, and they're supposed to see a magistrate or a judge within 72 hours max, 48 hours for probable cause hearing, and they let these people sit 5 days, sometimes 6 days. It's outrageous. They're in a cell. They can't get out. They don't have bail, and yet they put it off because they're derelict in their responsibility as far as seeing these people, and it's got to change. How would any of you people listening to this show now want to be locked up and you don't have the bail and you got to wait 5 days to see a judge? And then he may or may not release you or may even set the bail higher. So the system is really, really bad. And when Chuck says as far as justice, that's right, it's the wrong term. It's more or less some kind of system to gather up the people and teach them a lesson and train them to either be subservient or obedient. And that's what I've been watching for 14 years because I've been sitting in there for 14 years on a regular basis. And it's completely ridiculous. So I ask people to join me at the courthouse. Come in there. You can ask anybody. They'll tell you what courtroom I'm in. I'll be glad to help you out.
Okay, Ray, we got to go to break. Do you want to hang on?
I'll call back after the break. I'll give you a little more talk time, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.